All right, what's up, guys? Back at you with another video on today. This is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Click on that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our video installment. All right, guys, we're going to talk about it. Pretty much, you knew it was going to be brought up. The question was asked of Noah Sewell at the Combine on yesterday. Would he love to play with the Detroit Lions? And you know he said yes, it would be truly a blessing to him to be able to play with his brother. And definitely, I think it will be a blessing for him as well. I think that Penei Sewell has definitely turned out to be a dog, and he's definitely turned out to everything that they want on the offensive line. Both of these guys can play. Now, the thing about Noah Sewell is that he didn't have the best season last year in college football. Kind of dipped in his numbers a little bit. But the year before, in 2021, I believe he had over 114 tackles. The dude can play. He can cover. He's an athletic linebacker. Maybe not the fastest linebacker in the draft, but because I think I saw the Combine yesterday, and his first number I saw, I think he ran like a 4.7. So that's not like the fastest, not slow either, but not the fastest either. But this dude, what he lacks in speed, he makes up in instincts, and that's what you want. You want linebackers that have great instincts out on the football field, guys that know what they're doing, guys that know if they need to be shooting through the gaps, guys that know who to cover out of the backfield, and also being able to cover some of today's best tight ends, guys like Travis Kelce and Darren Waller. And there's other tight ends out there that's pretty good too as well that you may need to cover. And I definitely think that him playing with his brother would be a blessing. It will be a blessing. Right now, the Lions have had two brothers playing together at the same time with each other, and that's Julian Okwara and Romeo Okwara. So the Lions are familiar with brothers playing together, and definitely I think that he would be a great fit in the linebacking core. They need to get better. Whether the Lions decide to take him, or they go with a Jack Campbell, or they go with a Drew Sanders, or maybe they take an Owen Papo, or whoever they decide to go with. The Hentley kid from the Washington State Cougars. Maybe they decide to go with him. I don't know what the Lions are going to do at linebacker, but what I do know is that the Lions need to draft a linebacker this season, and maybe the Lions decide to say, hey, you know, we're going to double up and grab two linebackers. I don't know, because I know another area of weakness on the defense is also being able to have a defensive tackle. Now, I know pretty much a lot of the fans are really wanting my man out of Pitt, that is Cansey. Cansey put up some great numbers yesterday in the Combine. And the thing about the Combine is this, you know, I'll never knock anybody's measurements. I'll never knock anybody's numbers and things of that nature. But the thing is, what you're looking for is for a guy to be able to perform on Sundays. You know, I know, you know, it's good to see guys run, you know, especially if you're a big boy and you're running a 4.6 or 4.7 or whatever it may be. You know, and people just look at that as that's the tell all, or that's the be all for that player. And it's not. It's just measurements and numbers. When you get out on a football field, it's going to be a totally different story, because the way the game is played is run by schemes, and it's run by different. It just covers a whole lot of different things out on the football field. So basically what you want to know is that you're getting a good football player, a guy that's going to put the work in the offseason, a guy that's going to put the work in the season, a guy that pays attention to detail. And I believe that definitely that Noah Sewell is a student of the game. And I think that he would be a perfect fit with the Detroit Lions as one of the linebackers. They picked up last season Malcolm Rodriguez, and then the year before that they picked up Derek Barnes. So they have some younger linebackers in the room, but they just need to get better at the position. And I think that the Lions need to grab a guy that can be a plug-and-play type of guy. Now, I definitely think that Noah Sewell would be one of those type of guys that you could plug and play and put into the rotation. But we're not going to really know what the Lions are going to do until they start signing some of their free agents back. Maybe they bring back Alex Anzalone, on a 2-3 year deal. I don't know, but at the same time, I do know that they need to get better and they need to upgrade in the linebacker position. The Lions haven't had a real solid linebacker for a long time, and that's what they definitely need to do. I think the last time that the Lions had a solid linebacker was pretty much, I'm going to have to probably say DeAndre Levy was the last linebacker that was solid. No, Stephen Tulloch. Stephen Tulloch was the last solid linebacker that the Lions had. And I just definitely think that they need to upgrade the position, get better at this position, because last season the Lions in one game, they gave up over 320 something yards rushing on the ground to the Carolina Panthers. Now, I know they were talking about the conditions of the field and things of that nature, but at the same time, you got to be able to stop somebody. And the Detroit Lions have a hard time stopping running backs and containing running backs. And they have a hard time with tight ends as well. So definitely, if they upgrade it, grab some athletic linebackers on the team, whether it be Noah Sewell, maybe it may be a Jack Campbell, maybe it may be Drew Sanders, whoever the Lions decide to pick up. I definitely think that it's going to help the linebacking core get better. You're going to be able to help out guys like Michael Rodriguez, and the Lions still could take a linebacker in free agency as well. There's a lot of linebackers that are starting to become available as guys are starting to let go linebackers and different players from their team. We already know, i.e. Bobby Wagner has pretty much been let go. And I just think that Bobby Wagner, ultimately at the end of the day, he would be a solid linebacker to put in the room with a bunch of young guys and be able to mentor these young guys and lead by his leadership. So Bobby Wagner would be a perfect fit as well. Pretty much Seattle is trying to get him back in Seattle. And then there's going to be a lot of other teams clamoring for his talent because Bobby Wagner is a solid linebacker, whether in coverage or whether in going in and blitzing on the quarterback. So picking up a Noah Sewell and being able to play with his brother Penei Sewell, I think will be ultimately a great thing for both of those guys. But if the Lions decide to go with another linebacker and Sewell ends up going to another team, it is what it is. It's the nature of the game. It's just what the Lions feel is a fit. That's one thing that Brad Holmes does. He preaches a lot about drafting guys that fit the culture. As I've listened to him over the years, he continues to say the same thing over and over and over, that he wants guys in here that have the grit, that they're explosive, and that they fit the culture. And he said the same thing again this season, that he's looking for guys that fit the culture, they have that grit, and they're explosive. So definitely I think that, hey, you just never know, man. You just never know. Skies is the limit. But him being able to get a chance to play with his brother will be an awesome thing. He already said that he would love to come to the Lions, and that's what you love. It seems like players now are starting to buy in, and they see what Detroit is starting to do. Detroit last year really changed things, man. The season started off very ruggish and slow and things of that nature, and then at the end of the season, the Lions got hot, and they really turned it around. I believe they ended up winning 8 out of the last 10 games. So that was definitely something, man, to see the Lions really change and really not just go out there and lay down to everybody, but really be competitive. And I think in order for the Lions to be a very good football team in 2023, they're going to have to get the guys on the team that got that dog in them. Those guys out there that that can straight up ball and play, and that's going to help propel this defense from being dead last to being either in the middle of the pack or being one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL. That's where you would love to see the Lions make that leap from being at the bottom of the barrel with their defense to being able to be in the middle of the pack or to be able to be right in the 1 through 10 type of area. So that's what you would love to see out of the Detroit Lions. So definitely, guys, check it out if you get a chance. Check out what Noah Sewell said in the combine. Definitely, he said it would be a blessing to play with his brother, and that he would love to play with his brother. You know what I'm saying? There's not that many opportunities that a guy is able to get drafted to the same team where his brother is playing. But that happened for Julian Okwara. The Lions drafted him, and he got that opportunity to play with his brother. So I think that Noah Sewell is looking for that same opportunity to be able to play Penei Sewell as well, because both of those guys are dogs. So we'll see, man. But make sure you guys subscribe to the Keeping It Raw podcast, and I'll be back to you soon with more content, more draft content, and let's get into